Hi, this is Magruder from Happy Monkey Snowboards. I've seen a lot of pictures of people's bases with the edges glued on, and I can see a whole lot of glue in between the teeth of the edges and on the base. Lots of people use different kinds of glue, which is great. Basically use whatever kind of glue works well for you. But you want to use the minimal amount of glue possible. You don't want to contaminate any more of the base and the edge with your temporary glue than you have to. You want to make sure that you leave those base and edges clean and ready to accept as much epoxy as you possibly can. If you oversaturate the base and the edge teeth with the temporary glue you're using to hold your edges on, that's going to form a poor bond when you actually get the epoxy in there during layup. So let's look at exactly how much glue you should use when tacking your edges on. I just use good old super glue to tack my edges on. This is the normal stuff that you would find at Home Depot. Usually comes in packs of 4. Probably find this at any drugstore. I like the super glue because it's very liquid and it flows very easily underneath the tines of the edge where you have them clamped. Here you can see the approximate distance that I have clamps on my edges. Along the running length, I use clamps about this distance. As I get to the nose and the tail, I usually clamp much closer together to make sure that I can hold those tight curves onto the base as well as I possibly can. I place a single drop of super glue on either side of each clamp, right between the tines. It's just one drop, and I try to get it in contact with the base as much as possible, like this. There we go. On the other side, a little bit more. There. This side of this one, and on the other side of this one. That is sufficient super glue to hold this edge on. As you can see as you watch here, the super glue is bleeding into the base and under the edge. Capillary action is pulling it under the edges. If you go along your base, applying your drops of super glue like that, usually by the time you come back to the beginning, you'll find the super glue has almost completely disappeared. That's really what you're after. Sometimes you'll find that little bits of super glue remain sitting on top of the metal edges. I just dab them off with a shop towel like that, and we're done. The super glue is going to take about 20 minutes to dry. I've never personally understood why it takes so long to dry. It doesn't really want to adhere quickly between the metal and the P-Tex. But if you give it about 20 minutes undisturbed under the clamps, when you take it off, you'll find that it stays on very, very well and is very hard to pull off. If you can pull it off easily, then you need to try again. Either try different glue or try making sure that your materials are cleaner. You can see these materials here are fairly clean, and that's what I would expect for getting ready to lay up or tack the edges on. Basically, you'll notice that you can't see any glue anywhere in the tines of these edges. That's your goal. If you can see the glue, you've used too much. I hope this has been helpful, and have fun making skis and snowboards.